Back to news from the local scene now. Shawn Stratton, a former instructor with the National Outdoor Leadership School and current team building expert, has launched a new book, his first. It's called Teams on the Edge. In it, Stratton shows how the best lessons on team building and life happen outside the workplace and the classroom.
These stories in your book.
Yeah, one of the stories is of an expedition in the Arctic in Alaska on the Yukon River, on a tributary to the Yukon River, and that was a series of events, and the book is called Teams on the Edge, and it's all about the teams and how we managed to face these crises. And in that expedition included finding a missile in White Mountains in Alaska north of Fairbanks. We were hiking and we found a missile. That day we also had 5 of our tents eaten by bears. Black bear had shredded all our tents. We're miles and miles away from anywhere. And a couple days later, our student groups got split up, which we planned to do for a couple days, but during that time the wind came up and they ended up being split up for almost a week. They were trapped on the river. We didn't know where they were, and it was just kind of one series of events after another that just when you think what else could happen, something else happened. But amazingly the team came together and got through it.
You have taken, I guess, these lessons and you bring them to other people, like regular folk, like me, like, small workplaces, big workplaces. What can you take from those experiences that you've had to these people? What can you teach them from what you've done?
Yeah, I think so much about teamwork and team building is personified in the wilderness. I like to say, most folks in their office and day job get to go home at night, and they work with their colleagues all day long, but in the wilderness you don't get to go home at night. And so it's very similar. So much of team building is the challenge of communication. And in the wilderness, I find it's just personified that much more. And so taking some of those lessons that I've learned from leading these expeditions on communication, on how to give and receive feedback, conflict resolution, these are things that everybody are doing every day, but in the wilderness it's just that much more personified. And so taking some of those experiences and lessons and transferring those into the workplace. Team building is trust and building trust with each other and being able to be vulnerable with each other and understanding each other. And so many times in the workplace, people don't even know who they're sitting next to. And they may know their names and they may know a little bit about them, but they don't know how many kids they have at home. They don't know what their hobbies are. They don't know their history as a kid. They don't know their challenges they're having in their life. And the more that you can learn about each other in a comfortable, fun atmosphere, the more willingness to be vulnerable with each other, which is eventually going to build trust. And once you have that trust and accountability within each other, your team is going to strive to reach their full potential.
Where can people find this book?
It's available everywhere online as an ebook and a print book on Amazon.com and Amazon.ca and all the other Amazon sites. And locally it's available at the Outfitters downtown on 220 Water Street.